Chronic anger is a major blocker to love, to self-love, to a life that we love. In this, if you are experiencing chronic anger, I see you. I've been there. And it feels very for me, it feels like I'm like an animal in a cage. It feels like that I'm fighting with myself. I'm fighting with the other aspects of my life. And anger is, by society, especially for women, anger is looked down upon and is categorized into bitchiness, into irrationality, into quote unquote crazy. Anger can actually be a very healthy way of expression, but if it's a chronic thing that you are seeing, that may be something to look into. And I feel like chronic anger, like I said, it makes me feel like I'm like an animal in a cage. I'm quick to react. I'm quick to, sometimes for me, I was very quick to run away. Quick to cut ties very quickly instead of having a better relationship with my anger about, whoa, what's this? Why is this happening? If we haven't healed our anxiety, the root causes of our anxiety, then anger will, like when people say they see red, and it happens often, like I raised my hand to that because that's when I used to get triggered, it's like I would jump out of my body and just become this person that I wasn't really proud of. And then after that, I would be very guilty and shameful, and I would feel like I had to be apologetic, which is good, but not good if it sits within you and creates this internal shame and blame and self-hatred. And that's why that it blocks self-love. That's why that it blocks a life that we love and people that we love coming into it. And it blocks us from speaking our truth, because our truth, as much as this may be a little bit, I don't know what the word is, controversial, but as much as social media, especially maybe even society, or maybe even different people like me, like different practitioners, speaking your truth, from my experience, does not come from anger. Speaking my truth, the way that it feels when I speak my truth is this, it's a aligned, centered, calm process of communication, whereby that communication is enough, is the end game. And many times with anger, if it's a trigger, if it's like part of that emotional anxiety that we haven't healed yet, and we're talking like from where I'm coming from, we're talking like root cause issues. Like, how has it been for you in the past to speak your truth? And is the only way that people react to you through, is it through anger? But does it feel good to you? That is my question. Something to think about today. And I know that if you're listening to this and if you've gone this far, sometimes if we are, like for me, I'll give you my experience. I know that the femininity is my true essence. But I had been trained in work and job and society, in my relationships even, until I restructured them internally, that the only way that I was going to be heard is if I was angry. And in my experience, that is not true. If you can think of this archetype of like goddess or priestess, what does that feel like to you? if you can step into that, depending on where you are. For me, it's a very like queenly archetype where she's very clear, she's very grounded, she's very calm, she's very discerning. She understands who she is and therefore can communicate that to have effect on the outside world. And I would say, asterisk on that is not the end game. But the end game is how you feel inside. The end game is, can I allow self-love? Can I allow a life that I love? Can I allow myself to speak my truth from here rather than here? Hope that helps today.